Rival fans are absolutely fuming, absolutely furious all over social media because a video has come out of Sky Sports talking about the Club World Cup that will go on in the summer and the potential prize pool for it. So we're going to be getting into that, looking at the reactions, and I'll give my views and you guys feel free to comment down below yours as well. But before I begin, if you are new here, please hit the subscribe, hit the like as well. It'll be greatly appreciated. So let us start by listening to the video by Sky Sports, and then we will discuss it.
The Club World Cup. Chief reporter Kaveh Solokol with me. What is it?
Well, I think FIFA will announce later today that the prize money for the Club World Cup this summer is going to be $1 billion.
Ooh.
Now, that is very good news for the 32 teams who are playing in this new expanded tournament. And of course, that includes Manchester City and Chelsea. Now, my information is that if a team does very, very well in this tournament, for instance, get to the Final Four, get to the final, or even win it, you could be looking at making up to $100 million. That is just for 4 weeks' work in the United States this summer. To put that into perspective, for instance, if a team qualifies for the Champions League and does well in the Champions League, you probably make around £100 million. So this tournament, the prize money on offer to these big clubs like Manchester City and Chelsea is the equivalent of the kind of money you would expect to make from the champion.
I mean, why word? £1 billion is a ridiculous amount of money. But I'm going to be looking at this in a diplomatic way. So to get into this Club World Cup, you have to have had some sort of significance in winning the Champions League, which Chelsea have done 5 years ago, and Manchester City obviously 2 years ago. So in that sense, these guys have qualified in the right way. But when you're also looking at it, these teams are probably the most powerful teams financially. And you're just thinking, wow, they could get a lot more powerful if they go on to win this. Obviously, the prize pool, even if you qualify through the stages, is, like Darmish has said, 100 million euros or 100 million pounds. That is what they could get. So essentially, they're saying the Club World Cup is in the same category as the Champions League, which is quite insane. It literally is. I'm sure you're a City fan or maybe a Chelsea fan. How do you feel about this? I've seen a lot of fans get very frustrated with the fact that Chelsea are in it, the fact they won the Champions League 5 seasons ago. They've had a massive change. You're looking at the quality of players they've got. Do they have the capacity to even compete in the Club World Cup? Is it a disrespect that they're in it? I don't know. Maybe there should have been more of a better point system to select which teams should be put into this. Because in Europe, I've said this many times, it should be in the past couple of years, City and Liverpool. Definitely the two biggest and best sort of teams to be in this Club World Cup. But obviously Chelsea, they've won it more recently, so they've got their hat in the ring for it. We've also got to look at it from the perspective that these teams are having to go on to a very, very competitive competition in the summer, where I'm not quite sure about the dates. Would it be during the rest for the players or during pre-season? But still, regardless, this is going to be a highly intense tournament, because obviously these owners, they want to win that prize pool, £1 billion, 100 million, whatever it is. They want to win that. They're in there, they're competing to win it. So it is only fair for the pressure, the intensity these players are going to be under, that there's a massive reward for it. There has to be, because there's already so many games in football, and you're already adding another massive tournament. There has to be a big prize pool, because then what's the point? What's going to be lucrative in terms of this competition? If they put it under a prize pool like, I don't know, 10 million, they'd send their B team, their under 21s, these teams, to go and compete. But you know, FIFA want this to be a massive thing where everyone is excited and wants to watch. We've already had millions of injuries this season. So if this prize pool wasn't as much, like I've said, teams would send their under 21s happily, because why would they want to risk more injuries, risk their players for a competition that has 0 pools and gains? So in that sense, it does make sense. It really does. So I get the frustration from rival fans, and we'll get into a couple of their comments here. This is a Newcastle fan. He says 2 clubs whose spending went unchecked for over a decade now have the opportunity to play for the biggest purse football has ever seen. Tell me how this isn't financial doping. To be honest, I get the frustration from Newcastle and Villa fans. Obviously, they have been heavily under the PSR. Those regulations are very tough. But I don't know. Manchester City, I've heard rumours that their 115 charges will probably go under the radar. They won't have that sort of put against them, which if it can be proved, then fair enough. I'm not going to be a hater. This channel is all about being fair and sort of looking at things from a fair point of view. So if City do get past that, then this idea that they were unchecked and all of these things people have been saying, that goes under the carpet and we can't say it anymore. So I think that is incorrect in that way. Newcastle obviously have very rich owners now and they haven't been able to spend a lot of money due to PSR, and obviously it's probably going to take 2-3 more years until we see Newcastle able to spend to the capacity of a Chelsea or a Manchester City. So I get it for the smallerish teams who are going to, obviously they are showing their frustration. But like I've said, City and Chelsea have qualified through footballing rights. It's not like they've done under the table payments to be in this competition. There's other teams across Europe in it, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. There's no guarantees that either Chelsea or City are going to win this competition. So, from a fair point of view, you can see this from both of the frustrations, really, from the teams at the bottom who, like Newcastle, I'm not saying they're a bottom team, but the teams that haven't been able to flex their financial muscle, you can get it. We also have this absolute joke, team that won 5 years ago can compete, awful tournament. That's in regards to Chelsea. I do get that. Like I said, I think Liverpool have had a better European significance over the last 5-6 years than Chelsea. But ultimately, they won the competition most recently, Chelsea, didn't they? So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure after this summer, there's going to be some changes made to this Club World Cup. I think it's only every 4 years anyway. But yeah, it ruffled a lot of feathers. We've also got the Super League 2.0. Very well played, very slick. Obviously, I think I agree with this probably the most. Because if you look at it, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Manchester United, all of the big clubs went into the Super League, not because of the structure of the tournament, but because of the money that they could earn. These football clubs, at the end of the day, they're businesses. They need money. They need to be sustainable. And the only way they can be sustainable is by getting money, by earning money, by competing for prizes which bring in a significant amount of money. So FIFA have said, okay, we hear you out, but the price for this is you're going to have to go in the summer. You're going to have to compete in the summer. But look, you can win 1 billion. So it is, I feel like, a very intelligent way of a Super League for FIFA. I think we've all sort of seen the Super League's gone very, very quiet. I think Real Madrid are still trying to do it. But I think this fixes quite a lot. And FIFA will keep on trying this. They want to put games in America for money. There's different ways that the Super League is essentially going to be done within FIFA. So the fans like us, we're not meant to know or see it. But this page, we've seen the comments here, and yeah, I think it's very clear what is going on here. But let me know down below. I'm obviously not criticizing Chelsea or Manchester City if you are a fan of either one of those clubs. But if you are frustrated, tell me why down below and it will be quite interesting. But that's it for now, and until next time, peace.